Hello YouTubers, Elsie Butcher here. Today is Monday, April 11th, 2017, and the title of this video is Slavery on the Down Low. I would like to share with you some of the subtle meanings and some of the mocking samples of tomfoolery that I have received for sharing truths with you. But first, let me remind you that Genesis 3:1 in the King James Bible says that Lucifer or Satan is more subtle or cunning, clever, sly, and tricky than any beast of the field. And like their father, Lucifer, likewise, so are its children. Recently, someone put these two Christian booklets on my outside front door sill. Now, either they are spying in my house or are watching my YouTube videos where I repeatedly describe myself as being non-religious. At this point, I am not even sure that my YouTube uploads are being presented to all of the public because frequently my Metro PCS smartphone flashes the message that my account is offline. Anyway, it's not entirely up to me to share these truths that can shake the very foundations of this world. I trust Zenith Distance Authority, the righteous originators of all reality, or Truah, to do all that I cannot do. This magazine this is the front of it, titled Ashrow, is the second one of its kind that I have received. The first one I received before I was swindled out of my home at 1106 Walnut Avenue in Baltimore, Maryland. And I have the court documents with all of the lies in it that proves that swindle. Anyway, I recently received this copy of the magazine here in this rented house. Let me explain the subtlety in the title of this magazine, Ashrow. But first, notice that it is a clothing magazine for women of color. And I didn't just pick it up somewhere. There's my name and address on the back. As I said, I received that magazine right here in this rented house. The word Ashrow is meant to demean the teaching I did, stating that the word Afro to me means African royalty. So my enemies sent these two magazines with the title Ashrow, meaning a line or lineage of succession of African women of royalty and of color, meant to have family lines of succession where one person after the other follow in an orderly fashion to succeed, to inherit dignity, positions, property, titles, and thrones. But instead, as ashes, they suffer grief and humiliation, or trouble, annoyance, deep distress, and grievance or injustice. Now, this magazine is also a clothing magazine. Notice that it is titled Romans. And notice that my name and address here in this rented house is on the back, which proves to you that it was sent to me. And this magazine has many women of color in it also. Now, this magazine, the one titled Romans, was sent after I taught the transmigration, or the born again experience, where evil spirits are thrust into the bodies of persons of royal lineage, was a practice that began in Rome. Also, that line of succession now belongs to the popes of the Roman Catholic Church, known as vicars of Christ, or substitutes for Christ here in this earth. In one of my dictionaries, it states that to be a Christian was also to be a Roman. Since these evil spirits inhabit the bodies of their slave hostages and cannot be seen outwardly, I call this slavery on the down low. And Psalm 2 and 8, in a passage of Scripture in Hebrews 10, along with their concordance definitions, confirm this. Hollywood writers, directors, and actors seem to know this. And that is why such films as The Three Faces of Eve, Sybil, The Exorcist, and now Split are produced. Why do you think people commit heinous crimes, some so gruesome it makes the skin crawl? These people are demon-possessed, and that possession involves criminal minds. And Rome knows all about it, because that's where transmigration began. Look up the words addition and date in Merriam-Webster's dictionary to prove it for yourselves. Did slavery end in 1865? I don't think so. What we have here is a continuation of slavery, only it's slavery on the down low. Until next time, I am Elsie Butcher, and thank you for listening.